Hi guys, my name is Brittany, and this video is going to be about acquiring your Thai Pass. My husband and my son, we have moved to Thailand, and it was a process getting here, a very, very long process. I wouldn't say long, I would say difficult, being a lot of steps to get what we had to acquire. Okay, so from the beginning, in order to go to Thailand, there are very, I'm outside on the porch, by the way, so if you hear anything, it's because I'm on the porch. In order to acquire the Thai Pass, you first have to get a COVID vaccine. You don't have to, but if you don't, then you would have to quarantine for 10 to 14 days. Okay, if you are vaccinated, then you do not have to quarantine that long. There are two options. The first option is you are vaccinated and you are from one of the 61 approved countries, then you only have to quarantine for 1 day. If you are vaccinated and you aren't from one of the approved countries, then you have to quarantine for 7 days, but I know that they're working on making that 5 days. Then lastly, if you decide not to get vaccinated, like I said, you'd have to quarantine for 10 to 14 days. So you need to be vaccinated, and so we got vaccinated, and you have to be vaccinated for 14 days, okay? The next step, this is for a fast track process. You need your passport. If you have your passport, then it's going to be way more simpler. We didn't have our passport and we needed to get it faster. I know to acquire your passport you need it could be from 4 to 12 weeks to get it. A fast track process to get your passport is you have to show proof that you have flights going out of the country. You have to go to one of the 26 locations, the passport agencies. The agency that we went to was in Chicago. And you have to be leaving to call to make your appointment. I'm sorry, let me start over. To call to make your appointment, it has to be 2 weeks before, exactly 2 weeks before you're leaving, okay? And your appointment can only be 72 hours before you leave. So 2 weeks before you're leaving, you call, you make an appointment. The appointment can only be from 72 hours before you leave. When you do this, if this is the route that you're going, you need to call. I believe they open up at 8 a.m. You need to be, or 7 a.m., one of the two, 8 a.m. You need to be on the phone dialing at 8 a.m. We called at 8 a.m. We were calling before then, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes before, and even still, we had to wait 40 minutes. If you call, and then you want to call right away, because if you don't, your spots, you could lose your spot. You could lose the day you need to go. So you need to be on point 8 a.m. That's when you need to be calling them. We went there. We spent some time in Chicago. We booked 2 appointments. I booked the appointment for us, and then just in case, because we were worried about our documents that we had, so my husband called and we booked the appointment under his name for 48 hours before. So just in case, we had another appointment to get everything that we needed to get. They give you a time to get there. You arrive there on time. You have your documents, and we were there, I believe, at 10:30. Our appointment was at 10:30. We gave her all our documents. They told us to come back at 2 p.m. Came back at 2 p.m. and they gave us our passports. That was that process. Next process is you need to obtain your hotel, COVID hotel. So in order to obtain a COVID hotel, you need to have the following. You need to have your passport. You need to have your flight. So if you went the fast track process like we did, you already would have your flight. But if you don't, you would need to acquire your flight. My suggestion for acquiring your flight is when you book your flight, make sure you pay the extra $25, $35, whatever it is, for the insurance. The insurance covers if you need to change the dates, or you need to cancel or anything like that. Make sure you pay for that insurance. Okay. Also, you need to have your COVID vaccination, the card that you have. Some countries are green, some countries are white. It needs to show both doses. You need to get both doses of the COVID vaccine. You do not have to have the booster, just the 2 doses. Well, we got the Pfizer, so it's 2 doses. If it was Johnson & Johnson, then you would get the 1, or whatever is required for that brand of vaccine that you have. You need to make sure you have all those shots. And then also you need to have COVID insurance. The COVID insurance is $50,000 US. It needs to cover if you obtain COVID-19, if you get COVID-19. So you basically will cover all your expenses of COVID-19. It has to be $50,000 US. And it has to show, so basically when you get a certificate, it shows like, okay, this is what it covers. And on that certificate, because you're only allowed to upload 1 document page, when you upload for your Thai Pass. So that 1 certificate, it needs to say covers COVID-19 on there. If you go to the Thai Embassy website, there is an approved one by the Thai Embassy. You can get any one you want, but a good one to get is the one that's called AXA, and it's a COVID insurance. And if you go to the Thai Embassy and get that one, you'll definitely for sure have what you need to get your Thai Pass approved. It costs $67, and if you do go, everyone has to have insurance, no matter if it's your adult, a teenager, a child, a baby. My son is 10 months old. He had to have COVID insurance. Everyone has to have COVID insurance. And I didn't know at the time, but I believe there are group options where you can get it for your whole family. I ended up doing it individually because I didn't know about the group option. I also didn't know that Grayson, my son, needed COVID insurance either, but I found out later on and I had to add that on, and I got that. And then as far as the 5-day, that one's for the 24-hour non-vaccinated. Actually, that doesn't matter. You take that. Don't worry about what I said. Okay, next is the process of obtaining your Thai Pass. So the documents that you need for your Thai Pass are, and this is for the 1-day quarantine, by the way. You need to have your passport. You need to so basically it's in every form that you're uploading is in JPEG. You have to go to Google. I can't think of the name right now. I'll put it in the description of the website. You go into Google, you type in Thailand Pass, and then it will say and this is only for air travel. If you travel, I don't know where you're coming from, wherever you're coming from, if you travel by boat or by land, you don't have to acquire a Thai Pass. But if you're traveling by air, which most people are, then you have to have a Thai Pass. So you're going to upload a document of your, one more thing. Each Thai Pass is individual. So as an adult, if you have children, one adult can add all the kids on to their Thai Pass. And then if you're married or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, they have to fill out their own Thai Pass. So it's separate. It's not together as a whole family. Only an adult, and if you have children, it can be on one Thai Pass. So you have to upload a picture of your passport. The picture has to be very good quality. It cannot be any glare, and it cannot be any shadows. It has to be perfect. Like, it has to be clear, and that's what they want. If it's not clear and there's any blur or anything like that, they will deny you. Next, you have to, depending on what country you're coming from, if you need a visa, of course he's going to do this now, right? Okay, son. If you need a visa, then you have to have a visa. If you don't need a visa, like in the United States, you can get a visa upon arrival, so we don't have to do that part. You need to have your vaccine card. It's going to be 2 places. It's going to be... It's going to be 2 places for, depending on which vaccine you got, the first dose or the second dose. First dose or the second dose. If you have 2 doses, then you would, mine was like on the front, it had 2 doses on the front. You would just put the same picture on each section. Next, you have to have proof of your paid hotel. So when you go through the hotel process, they're going to ask you for the documents that I told you. You're going to send them those documents, and then you have to fill out a credit card authorization form as well. And then they're going to send all your documents back to you. They're going to send you a receipt with your credit card payment done, and they're going to send you like a certificate, like that you've been approved for the hotel. It's like a document, and you're going to upload that picture to the Thai Pass website, that it's paid for. It has to be paid. and then your COVID insurance, the certificate, and you have to make sure that that certificate that you send says covers COVID-19. If that page, that one page, you only get one page to send, if it does not say it's approved for COVID-19, you will not be approved, okay? And then that's everything. So, I think, honestly, I was worried because it says it takes from 3 to 7 working days. I honestly think, based off of what happened with us, I think it goes by when you're arriving. Because I did mine literally the day before, the morning before we went, and we were so nervous. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. You have to have a COVID test done within 72 hours of your arrival. So either 72 or 48 or 24, whichever one, it doesn't matter, as long as it's within 72 hours. So make sure wherever you go to get, you don't need to put that on the Thai Pass, but in order to travel, to get into the airport or anything, you have to have proof of that. Make sure wherever you go, they're telling you that you're going to get your results back within time. To go to Thailand, as of right now, they're not accepting the rapid test. You have to get the other test. But I think I read some updates that they're about to start accepting the rapid test. So by the time you guys come, and I think that's as of now, by the time you guys come, the rapid test might be okay. But if it's not okay, you need to make sure wherever you go to get your test done, that you'll have it upon time of arrival, or you will not be able to get inside not even on your first flight. Okay, that's most countries are asking for you to get vaccinated. I mean, not vaccinated, to get your COVID test done. What was I saying? Oh, so make sure, and then also all these documents that you're acquiring for your Thai Pass, make sure you just print them all out and have them on hand, because depending on the airport, like when we boarded, they wanted to see all the documents and then our Thai Pass. But when you get here to Thailand, all they're going to ask for is that you get a QR code when your results are in. So basically, back to that, I'm sorry, I skipped ahead. So I think it's about arrival. So I literally got my approval the day of our travel, the morning before we traveled. I got the approval. We got our Thai passes. It's a QR code on your phone. You take that, you can print it out. Some people print it out, or you can use your phone and they'll look at it and they'll scan it that way. But yeah, that's everything. If you guys have any questions or concerns or anything you would like to know, be sure to leave it in the comments. I would answer to the best of my ability, but I'm pretty sure that I covered everything, and I'll leave the link in the description of the insurances that we got. We got 2 different ones. I got the AXA for my son, and then my husband and I got something else. I can't think of it right now, but I'll leave it in the description. I'll leave a link in the description for the Thai embassy, and I'll leave a link in the description for where we did our where we got our hotel, where we found our SHA plus hotel. That's basically the COVID hotel. There's a couple of websites that you go to, and they'll get the information for that. Alright guys, that's it for this video. We're in our hotel, not the COVID hotel, we already left that. But we're in our hotel right now, and oh, one more thing. So basically, the point of the COVID hotel is because they provide, for one, give him a second, he's over there. They provide transport from the airport. They provide transport from the airport to the hotel. Then they provide your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or depending on how long you're staying, you'll get multiple breakfast, lunch, and dinners. And then the hotel itself. And then they also provide a COVID test. So all those that's why you're paying for this, because they want to make sure that you're quarantined basically until you get to the hotel and you're approved to leave. You have a negative test and you're approved to leave. Okay, video's kind of scrambled up, but all the information is there. And then, like I said, if you have any questions or anything, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to answer those questions for you. Thanks guys, my name is Brittany once again, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.